And welcome back to our Quick Slants segment. This one is going to be quick slants from each of our guys. You can say whatever you want. You got about 30 seconds here. Then we'll debate a little bit. Chuck, I start with you. Any point you want to make or rebut?
Boy, I tell you what, I'm thinking, holy Toledo. How bad did the SEC look yesterday in some of those non-conference games? Toledo beats Arkansas. And then you also have Jacksonville State. Not only had Auburn on the ropes, they should have beaten them. So I'm thinking, and the quarterback play for some of these teams, very, very bad.
Yeah, it wasn't just Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee fans hurt yesterday, but better to lose to Oklahoma in double overtime than to lose to Toledo. That's, and Bielema may beat Jones this year head-to-head, but the people that were saying last year that Bielema is such a better hire, I'm sorry. Jones hasn't lost to Toledo yet. Jimmy Himes, your thoughts?
I'm going to go that Tennessee has to get the passing game fixed, or this is going to be a long year. Florida's secondary to me is every bit as good as Oklahoma's. Tennessee's wide receivers have to get open. They got to help the quarterback. The quarterback's got to hit them. I think that's going to be a key. I think Tennessee they're going to face some really good defensive secondaries, and if they don't learn to throw the football, if they can't convert better on third down when it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, I think this is going to be a difficult year for the offense.
All right. Will Overstreet.
Well, you can definitely tell that Sterl was a quarterback and he doesn't like the defensive line because he gave everybody else 3s except for the defensive line. He gave them a 1. Don't know how that happened. The other thing is I don't really understand is when any team goes into overtime, the team that has momentum always seems like they're going to win that game. You have 30 seconds left in the field position you are. At least run one play and see what happens and give yourself a chance to win. Don't just kneel down and take that into overtime because in that sense, that game was going against you in every possible way, and I don't think you have much chance of winning when that momentum's all the way against you.
They did run one play.
I think that comment right there would have also fit in our first segment where we talked about the fact that it's a conservative coach. So, Bob Hodge.
I've got a little bit of that bone to pick with penalties, but it has nothing to do with ones that were called or ones that not. Tennessee had the chance to accept an Oklahoma holding penalty in the 4th quarter, right before things started getting away, and they turned it down. They would have rather had 2nd and 12 than 1st and 22. I don't understand why you do that because there's a psychological thing that comes when you're facing 1st and over 20. I really don't understand it. In the end, it was wiped out by a holding penalty. Right. But why do you turn down that holding penalty? I just didn't understand it.
And the referee they even showed was looking at the sidelines like, are you sure?
Yeah.
He's like, are you sure?
Yeah. I just wanted to touch on something Jimmy said, just to reiterate. I agree with you. That passing game, because everyone's just going to dare you to make plays in the passing game. Until you do, you're going to see that offensive line get blitzed left and right. I just don't see how this team does anything if they can't get the passing game going. And if you remember, all August, Butch Jones kept talking about consistency. We need more consistency in the pass game, more consistency in the throw game. Now I think we're finding out why they're saying that, because we haven't seen on any level, haven't seen the O-line block well against a good team, haven't seen Dobbs look consistent as a passer, and haven't seen the receivers do much of anything. All right. Also, one last one. Something Tennessee never, ever needs to do. They're now 0-2 and they checker kneeling. They're 0-2 in smoky gray. For God's sakes, don't ever go smoky gray and checker kneeling, or the stadium will just cave in. All right.
If you do it this weekend.
Yeah, do it. All right. How did we do in last week's Oklahoma game picks? 3 of us are smiling. We'll discuss last week's picks, and then we'll see how Chuck and Sterling think this week's game against Western Carolina is going to turn out point spread wise. Come on back on the Sports Source.